No, no intro. Okay. Welcome to Dolly Talk. This is Dolly. How is everybody doing today? Uh, got Junior here, and we are going to be doing the beginning of day 2. Crap. Sorry, stream was coming back to me. Of the Cummings trial and Jailhouse murder. Kind of interesting. So how's everybody doing? Hi, Louise. Why do you hate Hawaii? Well, how's everybody doing? Hey, Tracy, good to see you here. Scott, how you doing? Who are you with pineapple as a kid? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the trial, the whole, reason for the stream. It's kind of interesting today. We have the medical examiner, I believe. They show autopsy photos, so I'm going to skip those as much as I can, just because they're really, really graphic. And I don't think we really need to see that. All righty. Jury's coming in.
Join me in a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks. Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here on time. I certainly appreciate that. Everyone was able to follow my instructions overnight, correct? Everyone indicates that they were. All right. If you remember, we were still in the process of the state presenting their case in chief. Ms. Nicholson, you wish to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe Trooper Creech is still on the stand.
All right. Trooper, just to remind you, you are still under oath. Yes, sir.
May I proceed?
Yes, please.
All right, Trooper Creech. You indicated yesterday that you had reviewed prison surveillance footage. Is that correct?
I did.
And did you retain a copy of that surveillance video for your investigation?
I did.
And you received that from the prison?
I did.
Have you reviewed that video?
I have.
And is it fair to say that you took over 12 hours of video?
Yes.
Approximately. You retained video from a lot of the day on the 6th and into the 7th.
That's correct.
Including through the night hours.
That's correct.
And is the video that you've reviewed, is that a fair and accurate copy of the video that you viewed at the prison?
Yes.
Modified or altered in any way?
No.
Your Honor, at this time, permission to play State's Exhibit 46.
No objection.
And there is no sound to this video, is that correct?
That's correct.
So before I hit play, can you explain to the jury what we're looking at here?
We're looking from the angle from the north, looking into the south of the second range of J Block, which is the second floor.
And what is down here at these tables?
That is the date room area, first floor.
Hey, Maddie.
And these cameras have the ability to zoom in fairly far, is that correct?
Yes.
And so just orient us a little bit. What time is this video starting?
About 7 p.m. on the 6th of December.
Okay.
7 p.m.
And who is this individual right here in the
Oh,
green
go
shirt?
ahead, Christine.
Mr. Marquis
You're doing well.
And is he standing at cell 2J3 as we're looking at it right now?
He is.
And so he just went into his cell and slid the door shut. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so I'm going to pause it real quick. This is cell 2J3.
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to move forward just a little bit to play it forward from here. Right now, the time mark is 7:03:45.
Oh, hey, half Irish.
What are we looking at? It's 7:04:04. What are we looking at
We're
right
doing
here?
well.
Mr. Weatherington poking his head and his arm outside of his cell door.
Okay.
Where is Jason Addison at this point?
Jason Addison at this point is not in his cell. He's either making a phone call to his fiance, or I'm not exactly for sure at this moment where his location is.
But you
He's
were
not
able
in
to
the cell.
confirm he is not in the cell at this
No,
point,
he's not.
based on other video
That's correct.
from the institution. After this, do we see Mr. Weatherington again?
No, we do not.
(7:04:29). Who is this individual?
It's Mr. Cummings.
Mr. Cummings.
And who is this individual?
Mr. James Ogletree.
Okay. And we are seeing Mr. Cummings enter cell 2J3 at this point
Yes, we are.
at 7:04:34.
Yes.
And what's Mr. Cummings wearing in this video?
Wearing dark blue pants with a dark blue sweatshirt.
Well, everybody in there is, or almost everybody.
And then is this Mr. Ogletree entering cell 2J3?
This is
And what is Mr. Ogletree wearing?
a dark blue sweatshirt with white thermal pants with a pair of shorts over top of those.
And at this point,
Was it showing the moving screen? Yeah, today we learned not all inmates wear orange. Well, it depends. You know, I think it's close to Christmas, so they're kind of got the green and the, blue Christmas colors. Yeah, I paused it. So Ogletree and Cummings both kind of entered this cell here. So they're showing the video of them going up to the cell. They don't have video footage of like the actual event, but this is them like going to the area.
from the video, who's in cell 2J3?
Mr. Weatherington, Mr. Ogletree, and Mr. Cummings.
And the door is slid shut, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, they're beating him up. And I'm guessing these guys are the heartless felons, other heartless felons. Guy in the green is listening. I think that was the guy that testified yesterday, the white guy that just left.
Individual right here, this female, who is that?
CO McIntosh.
And so is she one of the range officers assigned to J Block that day?
She was.
Okay, so somebody's about to be murdered 15 feet away from her. Kind of in there for a while.
And CO McIntosh is currently walking kind of back and forth on what's on the screen, the left side of range 2. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And based on your experience,
I did not know there were female prison guards in a male prison, but okay.
and your observation of what she's doing, is she likely conducting a range check?
Yes.
I know there's no audio. Have you been in a cell block when inmates are out or in
Yes.
this kind of environment? What's the standard noise level
It's
in this
pretty high.
situation?
It's loud.
Lady guard left off the screen.
And we see the CO again now walking down the left side of the range.
That's correct.
Oh yeah, there she is now. Aw, look at her. Ma'am, shouldn't they be getting out of the way for you? Oh, look at those two. Did a little bro hug. There's another guard
This-
down below.
I'm going to pause it at 7:11. This individual down here in the corner by the shower room, what's he wearing?
Blue sweatshirt, blue pants.
As you were watching this video, did he stand out to you?
Yes, he did.
Why is that?
He seemed to be looking out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it would echo a lot.
Is that individual moving towards cell 2J3 at this point?
He is.
I'm going to pause it at 7:11:29. What did he just do?
He just knocked on the door. Cell 2J3.
How polite. He's a considerate felon, not a heartless felon.
I'm going to back it up just a second. Does the cell door to 2J3 open?
It does.
And I've paused it at 7:11:36. What does it appear happens when the cell door to 2J3 opens?
Here's an individual looking out.
I'm pause it again at 7:11:46. What does it appear is happening at this point at cell 2J3?
An individual looking out of the cell.
And nobody else has entered cell 2J3 at this point on the video, correct?
No.
This individual in the white shirt and the blue pants that we
Mr.
see, it's 7:11:56 on the video. Who is this individual?
Mr. Shaquiz Akeem.
And what does he do at this point?
He stops there at cell 2J3 and looks inside. And slightly shuts the door.
It's like that Simpson meme of Grandpa Simpson going into the bar, putting his hat down, turning around, picking his hat up and leaving. Are you done murdering my cellie?
I'm paused at 7:13:18. What did Mr. Hakeem just do
He just looked inside the window of the door.
at cell 2J3?
He did.
And he indicated that he was passing out graduation photos from school.
Yes,
Does he appear to have something in his hand as he's walking the range?
he does.
The photo? Have you seen BJ? I got his graduation picture.
Who had previously knocked. He has moved over to the opposite side of the range at this point,
Yes.
about directly across from cell 2J3.
Yes.
Nope, I don't want nothing to do with that.
I've paused it at 7:14:53. What's happening at this point?
Mr. Cummings is exiting the cell.
And does he have something in his hand?
He does, a white mesh bag.
And based on your experience, what are those white mesh bags?
They're usually for laundry or commissary.
What does he do? Do we see where he goes on this video?
We do. See him, he walks down to the other side of the range and walks into another cell at the very end of the range.
So
That's
at
the,
7:15:09,
bag he
he's
stole.
appeared now on the opposite side of the range.
Allegedly.
And he's walking to the opposite end of that range. Is that correct?
Yes.
And about 7:15:29, what does he do?
He walks into another cell.
We now see him walking back towards the camera. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Does he have anything in his hand at this time?
He does not.
During the course of your investigation, were you able to determine whose commissary bag Mr. Cummings is seen carrying out of cell 2J3?
I was.
Whose bag was it?
Mr. Weatherington's.
And were you able to determine whose cell, well, strike that. Were you ever able to recover that commissary bag?
No, we were not.
At 7:17:03, Mr. Cummings has now reappeared on the same side of the range as cell 2J3.
He has.
And at 7:17:08, what is he doing?
He enters the cell again.
At 7:17:19, what happens?
Mr. Cummings exits the cell.
And at 7:17:21, what happens?
Mr. Ogletree exits the cell.
And do they head in the same or opposite directions?
Opposite directions.
What happens at 7:17:24?
They walk kind of back towards the cell, and Mr. Ogletree slightly shuts the door.
Play it back just a minute.
Mildly inauspicious.
As Mr. Ogletree exits the cell, did you make any observations about his appearance?
Yes, his white thermal pants appear to now be stained red and pink.
Can you indicate on the screen where that is? Did you notice that when he walked into the cell at 7:04?
No.
So they slide the door shut and walk opposite directions.
They do.
Where does Mr. Ogletree appear to go?
Appears to go down to his cell.
And where does Mr. Cummings appear to go?
He leaves off the screen here. I believe he shows back up.
And does he head in the direction of his cell?
I believe so. I don't really recall that, to be honest.
Do we now see him walking down the opposite side of the range?
Yes.
In the direction of his cell?
Yes.
So you've watched this entire video. From this point forward for approximately 40 minutes. Does anybody enter or exit the cell?
No.
Who is the next person to enter the cell?
Mr. Addison.
And that happens around 7:57. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So I'm going to fast forward to 7:57 on the video. So I'm playing it again from 7:56:59 forward.
I thought jails were more chill. I mean, I imagine when there's a fight or something going down, it becomes very primal, more so than usual. Because it's all about survival there.
So I'm going to pause it at 7:57:02. I'm going to direct your attention to the day room on the floor of range 1. Who are these two individuals that I'm running my cursor over? It's an individual in a blue sweatshirt and blue pants, and an individual in a white shirt with green pants.
Mr. Cummings, Mr. Addison.
And based on the video, do they appear to be having a conversation?
They do.
Right?
They're walking and talking. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
So this individual in the white shirt and the green pants that we now see on the second range, who is that individual?
It's Mr. Jason Addison.
Brad.
So he appears to just
Fair.
knock on the door at 7:57:29, correct?
Correct.
Mavka. Okay, that's actually kind of ironic or interesting that you mentioned that, because just yesterday I asked somebody, and no, there's been no word on Todd Mullis yet. So still waiting.
Who is this individual that just passed cell 2J3, is in a pair of green shorts and a blue t-shirt near the shower room?
It's Mr. James Ogletree.
All for one ramen noodle and maybe a pack of ho-hos.
And at 7:57:38, what does Mr. Addison do?
He enters his cell.
And this is the first time anyone's been in there, correct?
Yes.
And we see Mr. Hakeem walking down the range as well?
Yes, we do.
And this is Mr. Ogletree near the shower room in the green shorts, correct?
That's correct.
Seven 58:27. Is Mr. Addison leaving cell 2J3?
He is.
And is it fair to say that over the next 10 to 15 minutes, he goes in and out a couple times?
He does.
But then he enters the cell with Mr. Cummings at 8:12.
He does.
Approximately. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to fast forward to 8:12. I'm going to play it forward from 8:11:51. So who do we see? I'm pausing at 8:12:01. Who is this individual approaching cell 2J3 in the blue sweatshirt and the blue pants?
Mr. Cummings.
And who is passing the shower room in the white shirt and the green pants?
Mr. Addison.
And I paused it at 8:12:04. What did Mr. Cummings just do?
He just entered the cell.
And
Again?
does Mr. Addison follow shortly thereafter?
He does.
And is the door slid shut?
Yes.
Blue shirt and green shorts. Again, who is that?
Mr. Ogletree.
Whoa.
And what does he do about 8:14:15?
Stops and looks back inside the cell.
Cell 2J3?
He does.
Could you guys look any guiltier? Good Lord.
He's there for a few seconds. Is that correct?
Yes.
Bruce.
So at 8:15:29, what happens?
Mr. Addison exits the cell.
And is he followed by Mr. Cummings?
He is.
And does Mr. Cummings slide the door shut behind him?
He did.
All right, I'm going to fast forward to approximately 8:50. Who is this individual in the white and green?
Mr. Addison.
Please don't
Has
look
he
in
just
here,
entered
ma'am.
his cell
Thank
for the
you.
night?
He has.
Is he locked down at this point?
He is.
Did you continue to watch this video through the night?
I did.
Did anything occur on the video through the night?
No, other than range checks.
So I'm going to skip ahead to the morning. So we can see it's just after 9:21 on the video. The lights seem to be out, correct, in the range or in the cell block, and nobody is out milling about, correct?
Yes.
She avoided looking in. Well, she's not very good at her job. If she does her job, then it means a lot more paperwork at the end of shift.
It's 6:40 on the video, and there are people starting to be about, correct?
That's correct.
And that would align with certain groups of people get released at certain times for medical or job functions, correct?
Correct.
So I'm going to play it forward from just after 7 o'clock. open. Does that appear to be what has happened?
Yes.
And it's 7:01 now on the video. And inmates on the second range are starting to exit their cells.
That's correct.
And we see a CO walking the first range on the left side. Is that correct?
Yes, that's Correctional Officer Potts.
Oh, 2:59. What do we see at cell 2J3?
Mr. Addison opening the door.
He's kind of poking his head out.
Yes.
He kind of hangs out there for a second. Is that fair?
Yes.
Hmm.
Seven 7:03:30. What does Mr. Addison do?
Leaves the cell with some clothing items in there.
I'm backing up. Just who is this? Hold on.
Come on.
At 7:03:40, who is this individual on the left side of the range in a light blue shirt with a long white long sleeve shirt?
Mr. Cummings.
And does he appear to be talking
He does.
in the direction of Mr. Addison?
He is.
I mean, he's just behind Mr. Addison. They're just on opposite sides of the range, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to move ahead to 7:37. I'm going to play it ahead from 7:36. There's an inmate who just entered, correct?
Mhm.
Do we see Mr. Ogletree in this video?
I believe so.
Is that this individual in the short sleeve blue shirt with the long blue
I
pants?
believe that's him.
Is he speaking to the inmate who was just in cell 2J3?
He is.
And that inmate re-enters, correct?
He does.
And Mr. Ogletree kind of walks off downrange.
He does.
Does that inmate who went back into cell 2J3 appear to speak to Mr. Ogletree again about 7:38:13?
He does.
And they're having a somewhat extended conversation, correct?
Yes.
That's them talking right by cell 1.
Yes.
We can see CO pods walking on range 1, correct?
Yes.
Texas. Hey, Factual Lie, how are you doing?
An inmate is entering cell 2J3, correct?
Yes.
Is this the inmate who alerts COs that Mr. Weatherington needs to be checked on?
Yes.
Is that what he appears to be doing right now?
It does.
He appears to be talking to somebody on the bottom range.
Yes.
And do we see at 7:42:24, Corrections Officer Lay and Corrections Officer Potts enter cell 2J3?
We do.
And it appears that
Yep,
Corrections
loud
Officer Potts
enough.
is on his radio. Is that correct?
Yes.
More COs are arriving.
Yes.
And the COs are like, sounds like somebody's having a case of the Mondays. Fun's over, lock it down. Oh, this is going to be so much paperwork. Damn it.
And at
Yeah, everyone knows.
7:44:08, we see Nurse Caponeri arriving with medical equipment. Is that correct?
Everyone knows what's up there except for the guards.
This
They're
is
all
very
like,
accurate
seriously, it's
depiction
been
of the video
over
that we
12
received
hours and they didn't figure
Yes.
it out?
related to the incident that occurred on December 6th into December 7th.
Yes.
Do you see Anthony Cummings in the courtroom today?
I do.
Could you please identify something he's wearing?
He's sitting across here in the defense attorney's desk with a blue button-up shirt on.
Identifying the defendant.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross. We okay?
Morning, Trooper. Good morning, sir.
We okay? We okay?
Yeah.
All right, you stated that you're employed by the Ohio State Patrol
I am.
and you handle investigations,
I do.
and you've handled several investigations in LCI.
I have.
And I believe you stated yesterday that you had a significant amount of calls from the J block.
We've had some a large amount.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, we've had a significant amount of different types of cases.
Okay, what types of calls were you receiving?
We've had assaults. We've had drug possessions, shank cases, things like that.
Okay. And you're aware that there's various gangs on J block?
There are.
Okay. And were you aware that Mr. Cummings was sending kites requesting off J block?
I believe he mentioned it.
And did you ever pull those kites?
I did not.
Okay, so you haven't reviewed those?
No, sir. I'm
Now,
not.
I told you on 5 different occasions he requested to be off J block. Would you have any reason to doubt that?
If you told me that he did make those requests, I would have no reason to doubt it. No.
Okay. Now, you stated from the recording we just watched, that's how you developed the potential suspects of Ogletree and Cummings.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Ogletree, are you aware what he is in prison for, what felony convictions he has?
I believe it's a manslaughter charge. I'm not sure.
If I show you a document, would that refresh your recollection?
Yes. Objection.
Approach.
Mm. Oh, I was on 1.4. Let me go down to 1.25. I was trying to kind of get through the video a little bit faster.
Yes.
Just let me know when you're ready. All right, can you tell me what felony convictions he's in prison for?
He has quite a few: attempted theft, failure to comply, robbery, harassment by inmate, theft again, multiple thefts, vandalism, and involuntary manslaughter.
And I'm sure if it's on the second or third page, it says expected release date.
Yes.
And what is that date for Ogletree?
October 29th, 2043.
2043.
That's correct.
Okay. And I'll take that back for you. Are you aware of Mr. Cummings' update?
I do not recall the date.
If I show you a document, would that refresh your recollection?
It would.
I think it's on page number 2. Thank you.
September 25th of 2025.
Thank you. Are you aware that Mr. Ogletree is a heartless felon?
I don't know if that for a fact. People have told me that during interviews.
Okay. And then yesterday, I think you said something to the extent that Addison identifies gangster disciples.
He told us that
He doesn't have a membership ID?
Identified as that.
Gangster disciple.
Mhm.
Okay. And I want to show you a few of state's exhibits. This is State's Exhibit 41. And you identified that as the sweatshirt you got from Cummings South?
I did not retrieve that sweatshirt.
Okay, but do you know where that came from?
Yes.
And where did it come from?
Mr. Cummings. So
Okay. And then State's Exhibit 42. That's the photo you identified. It looks like there's some blood on there.
yes,
Okay. Now, you identified these pants, State's Exhibit 43. Correct?
yes,
And you said you obtained those from Mr. Ogletree's cell.
they were obtained from his cell.
Okay. And the stains in that photo are consistent with the video that we just saw.
They are.
And the prosecutor stopped the video and you circled Mr. Ogletree's pant leg to show where these stains were.
Yes,
Now, in reviewing that same video, you said you reviewed many times, correct?
I have.
At any time, could you stop that video and identify any blood stains on Mr. Cummings?
I could not.
So these stains, you don't know what time they would occur that they replaced or got on Mr. Cummings' sweatshirt.
I can't determine what time they were.
So you can't say it was 7:14 when he exited the cell,
I cannot.
and you couldn't say it wasn't 8:12 when he went back in the cell.
I cannot.
And again, you took a picture of Mr. Cummings.
I did not take that picture.
I'm sorry. Okay, but you identified that as a picture of Mr.
Yes.
Cummings. And you stated that you take that picture to see if there's any injuries,
They were taking those pictures to see if injury is correct.
and you do not observe any injuries on Mr. Cummings.
I do not.
And again, you identified this photo, State's Exhibit 48, Mr. Cummings' hands,
Yes,
and you stated you do not observe any injuries on his hands.
I do not.
You identified State's Exhibit 49 as Mr. Ogletree,
Yes,
and then you identified State's Exhibit 50 as Mr. Ogletree's hands.
yes,
And you have a close-up of Mr. Ogletree's hands in State's Exhibit 51.
yes.
And do you know what hand that is?
I'm sorry.
Do you know what hand, right hand or left hand?
I do not know.
Okay, does it look like a right hand?
Oh, that does look like a right hand. Yes.
And the injury is on the knuckle area
Yes.
of the pinky? Okay. And you testified earlier that you propped up Mr. Wetherington and took a picture of a laceration on the left side of his head.
Mhm.
So if Mr. Ogletree is right-handed with this injury, it would be consistent with possibly that laceration.
Could be. Yes.
And with regard to the thermals, during your investigation, you determined from Ogletree's cellmate that he returned to his cell with blood all over him.
He did.
And you also determined in your investigation that those thermals were put into a bucket,
They were.
and that's where they were recovered.
They were.
And you're aware that Mr. Cummings was interviewed,
Mr. Cummings was interviewed. Correct.
and he was cooperative and gave a statement,
He did.
and he actually did that on 2 different occasions.
He did.
One moment, Your Honor. No further questions.
Redirect.
One more state witness, I believe. And then
We could have just one moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
defendant testifies. The defendant testimony, I think, will be tomorrow. I
Very
don't
briefly,
think
Mr.
so.
Creech. Have you've conducted approximately how many investigations in state prisons?
More than 100.
And the suspects or the ultimate defendants in those investigations, do all of them have outdates 20 years in the future?
No.
Have you ever conducted an investigation where an inmate is actually released before the conclusion of your investigation?
Yes.
So they had a relatively short outdate and still were involved in a crime in prison?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Any recross? No, Your Honor. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you have any questions for Trooper Creech, please reduce them to writing. Please remember my admonition about do not discuss or display any proposed question with
I don't understand the question.
rules that interface. Few questions. All right, Trooper, you've seen how this works. The jury has just a few questions. I'll read them. You answer them. There might be follow-up. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Were the individuals that interface with Ogletree ever interviewed?
They were.
Was the CO questioned?
The corrections officers? Yes, both.
Did there ever appear to be a CO during the 6th?
Up here, I don't understand.
I'm just.
Yeah, I don't understand the question.
I don't want to interpret it
Can
too
you read it
much.
to me one more time?
Did there ever appear to be a CO during the 6th?
There were COs that worked the block on the 6th.
Was the inmate who was wearing a green sweatshirt standing outside the door during the fight for quite a while ever questioned about what he heard and observed?
Green sweatshirt. I'm not recall what inmate that was. We interviewed all the individuals that we saw in the video that we thought were in question.
Okay. All right. Any questions based on the jury's question?
One, very briefly. You observed COs working the block on the 6th, conducting range checks, both during the day, during the evening, and into the night, correct?
I did. Yeah.
1 second. I'm sorry, Your Honor. 1 second.
During the time this incident was taking place and those range checks were conducted, did it ever appear that a CO looked into cell 2J3?
No.
No questions. All right. Thank you, Trooper. You may step down. Counsel approach.
Got to cut out some of these parts. So they're going on break.
Where we was found.
Oh, he's having a good day. Got some donuts, cookies in the back.
Travis was demonstrating a gun one time in their behind. Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez.
Call your next witness. Student call Trooper Kyle Clonis.
Kyle Flannel thing.
Step up to the witness stand.
You're on. Good morning.
Raise your right hand. Swear from the testimony of witness receives the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, self you got. I've seen. It's water if you need it. That's touch if you need it. Out.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
Sir, would you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Sergeant Kyle Klontz, KLONTZ,
Where are you employed?
the Ohio State Highway Patrol Office of Criminal Investigations,
How long have you been with the Ohio State Highway Patrol?
13 years.
And what is your current assignment, sir?
I'm currently now assigned to the Jackson District Office of Criminal Investigations.
Is that just very recent?
Yes,
Okay. And prior to that, where were you assigned?
the Cincinnati Operations Office of Criminal Investigations,
How long have you been in the Office of Criminal Investigations?
7 years.
Okay. I want to, was that your position back in December of 2023 as well?
That's correct.
And as part of that position, were you responsible for assisting in investigating crimes that occurred at the two prisons in Warren County, Warren Correctional and Lebanon Correctional Institution?
Yes, sir.
Direct your attention to December 7th, 2023. Were you contacted about an incident that occurred at Lebanon Correctional on that morning?
I was.
And
Yes.
how were you contacted?
Okay. Our office was contacted by our post dispatch about a emergency medical call to the prison, Lebanon Correctional, and then we contacted investigator Eric Kerner with Lebanon Correctional, who had told us that inmate was found unresponsive in his cell, and it appeared that he had been assaulted, and Turtle Creek was on their way.
As a result of that, do you respond?
That's correct.
And in fact, do you respond with Trooper Creech?
That's correct.
Okay. What happened when you got there? What was the scene like?
So when we arrived, we went immediately to the cell in which inmate Weatherington was found. It was marked as a crime scene, had tape on the door. It was unlocked by the corrections officers there in the block. There was blood on the floor in the cell, as well as the top bunk where Weatherington was found.
Okay. Fair to say Weatherington had already been removed at that point.
That's
is that
correct.
He was at the infirmary?
Correct.
Okay. So you and Creech go up, you look at the cell. Do you take photographs?
Yes. Trooper Creech used his body camera to video the cell, and then I took photographs of the cell with the handheld camera.
And then was there also evidence collected from that cell?
That's correct.
Okay. After photographing and collecting evidence from the cell, where do you go?
While we were taking photographs of the cell, Investigator Kerner was having people review camera footage. He's advised us that they did observe Weatherington's cellmate throw something away in a trash can at the end of the block. So we went down to the trash can, found a state-issued shirt in the trash can that had Weatherington's name on it. So we collected that, photographed it. We then went to the infirmary where we photographed Weatherington's body.
And then after the photographs that were taken at the infirmary, what did you do next?
Again, we were advised after camera footage was observed, inmate Cummings and inmate Ogletree enter the cell and exit the cell. Myself and Trooper Michael Schuler went and interviewed inmate Cummings and inmate Ogletree.
Based on what you were told at that time from the video footage, were they considered suspects at that time?
Yes,
And so you wanted to talk to both inmate Cummings and inmate Ogletree, is that correct?
that's correct.
Is it fair to say when you interviewed them, both of them were cooperative and willing to talk to you?
Correct.
Okay. Those interviews take place at the prison?
They did.
After conducting the interviews with Mr. Cummings and Mr. Ogletree, what do you do?
We went to their cells, 2J31 and 2J17, to look for, after reviewing the not body camera footage, but the cell block footage, after exiting the cell, inmate Ogletree, you could see on his clothing that there appeared to be some red stains on some of the clothing. So we went to the cells to see if we could find the clothing that they had been wearing in the video that appeared to be stained.
When you went to the cell, had it been secured and taped off?
Correct.
Nobody was inside the cell?
Nobody was in the cells.
Okay. And specifically, were you looking for those thermal pants?
That's correct.
Okay. What happened when you went in and searched the cell?
When we went into inmate Ogletree's cell, we videotaped the cell and then went in to search. There was a blue trash can by the door that had sweatshirt, shorts, and the white thermal pants, and then a pair of shoes, black Nike shoes, next to the trash can that appeared to all have appeared to be blood stains on them.
Okay. And was that evidence collected, sir?
That was collected.
And did you have an opportunity to photograph that evidence?
That's correct.
Can I hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 55, 56, 57, and 58? You can take a look at those and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes. Yep. The blue trash can with the clothing and the shoes, and then the thermal pants located in the trash can and removed from the trash can to show the staining on the. And then during the interview with.
Hold on one second, because I'll have them put them up there. That way you can describe them as the jury's looking at them.
Yeah.
Permission to publish, Your Honor?
Yes.
So starting with State's Exhibit 55. What do we, I'll let her make it a little bigger. What are we looking at in State's Exhibit 55?
This is the trash can. Once you enter inmate Ogletree's cell, the pile of clothing next to the trash can, to the right of the trash can, was on top of the white thermal pants in the bottom of the trash can, and then the black shoes next to the trash can where the items collected.
Okay, so first, you said the sweatshirt was actually in the
Yes.
trash can covering the thermal pants?
Correct.
Okay, so this picture is taken after that sweatshirt had been removed and set to the side.
Correct.
Okay. Putting State's Exhibit 57 on the screen. What are we looking at in State's Exhibit 57?
That's just a close-up of the thermal pants in the bottom of the trash can.
Okay. Putting State's Exhibit 56 on the screen. What are we looking at with this photograph?
The pants were removed and held up so you can see the staining on the bottom.
And finally, State's Exhibit 58. What are we looking at in this photograph?
We took a picture of this because that was the nickname used during the interview to identify inmate Ogletree.
And then with respect to the photograph that contained the shoes, the sweatshirt, the thermals, all of that evidence ultimately was collected. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I want to talk to you specifically about the thermal pants. I want to hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit number 61. You can first just take a look at this bag and tell me if you recognize the bag.
Yes,
And what is that we're looking at in State's Exhibit 61?
that is the white bloodstained thermal pants collected by me in the trash can in cell 2J17.
Okay, and then there's some other identifying labels on that bag, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell from the labels that that bag had been sent to the crime lab to be analyzed for DNA?
Yes. The yellow label at the top.
Can you flip that around?
Sorry.
That's okay. So that yellow label is the tag of the crime lab.
That's correct.
If you could go ahead and open that bag, please. We'll have go ahead, keep going.
Okay.
What are we looking at there in State's Exhibit 61?
These would be the thermal pans that were removed from the trash can with the staining on the lower legs.
And are they in the same or substantially same condition as when you collected them back on December 7th of 2023?
That's correct.
Okay, if you could put those back in the bag, please.
Okay. Yes, sir.
After collecting those items and photographing them in Mr. Ogletree's cell, did you have a chance to respond to Mr. Cummings' cell, the defendant?
That's correct.
Let me ask you, do you see Mr. Cummings in the courtroom today?
I do.
Could you please point him out, describe what he's wearing?
Yes, sir. The blue state issued shirt with the black hair.
Identifying the defendant. Thank you. When you went to Mr. Cummings' cell, same thing, had it been secured and taped off?
That's correct.
Nobody was inside of the cell?
Correct.
And what were you looking for inside of that cell?
Again, clothing that matched the description of the clothing worn by that was observed on the block camera footage of the inmate Cummings exiting the cell.
And what, if anything, were you able to locate in the cell?
Inside that cell, we located a blue sweatshirt that appeared to have blood stains on it.
And did you have an opportunity to photograph and collect that piece of evidence?
That's correct.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 52, 53, and 54. You can take a look at those and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, sir.
What is this, just briefly, in State's Exhibit 52, 53, and 54?
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to put them up on the screen.
We will.
Okay.
So just
Just
generally, what do we look at?
an outside look into the cell, just an overall view of the cell. The blue sweatshirt that was found in the cabinet next to the wall, and then a close-up of what appeared to be staining on the sweatshirt.
All of those photographs fairly and accurately depict the cell and the sweatshirt as you saw it in the cell on December 7th?
Correct.
Okay. Let's put State's Exhibit number 52 on the screen. What are we looking at here in State's Exhibit 52?
Just from the outer range, just looking into the cell, an overall camera shot of it.
And that's looking into Mr. Cummings'
Inmate
cell,
Cummings'
is that
cell, yes, sir.
Okay. And then you said with respect to the sweatshirt, where did you find that?
It was located in the small metal cabinet on the right wall.
It's a touch screen.
Oh, sorry. The small metal cabinet right here.
Okay. And then putting State's Exhibit 53 on the screen, what are we looking at in State's Exhibit 53?
It was just a sweatshirt removed from the cabinet, laying on top of the cabinet to take a photograph of it.
And finally, State's Exhibit 54.
Just a close-up of what appeared to be staining around the sweatshirt collar.
You indicated you had an opportunity to collect that sweatshirt.
That's correct.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit number 60. You can take a look at that bag, tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, sir.
What is that in State's Exhibit 60?
That would be the blue sweatshirt with suspected blood located inside cell 2J31.
Okay. And again, same question. Does that also have a label from the Bureau of Criminal Identification from the crime lab showing that it had been sent there to be tested for DNA?
Yes, sir. The yellow label at the top.
You could go ahead and open that bag. Let me ask you while you're opening that, just because I'm not sure that I did, with respect to the photographs that were taken from Mr. Ogletree's cell, same question, did all of those photographs fairly and accurately depict the condition of the cell and the thermal pants as you found them in the trash can?
That's correct.
Okay. You could hold that up and tell the jurors, what are we looking at in State's Exhibit 60?
This is the blue sweatshirt located in inmate Cummings' cell with the what we believe to be blood staining on the neck, and then the removal of the piece that was tested.
Okay, you can tell there's a little square cut out, is that right?
Yes.
Is it your understanding from doing these investigations, that would be the area that was analyzed by the crime lab, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Is that sweatshirt, sir, other than the piece that was cut out where the staining is that in the same or substantially same condition as when you recovered it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can put that back in the bag, please. Sir, after collecting that evidence from Mr. Cummings' cell, did you have any further involvement that day?
No, sir.
And after collecting that evidence, was that ultimately submitted to either to Creech or to the property room at the Ohio State Highway Patrol to then be sent to BCI for DNA testing?
That's correct.
I have one moment, Your Honor. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Cross.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You stated that you interviewed Cummings,
Yes, sir.
and in fact, you actually interviewed him twice, correct?
I interviewed him once.
Who interviewed him the second time?
I'm not sure.
Okay. In the interview you had, you said he was cooperative,
Yes, sir.
answered all your questions?
Yes, sir.
And how long did that interview take?
I believe it was around 27 minutes approximately.
Okay, no further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you have any questions for Trooper Klontz, please reduce them to writing. Do not discuss or display any proposed question with any other member of the jury.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did Ogletree and Cummings have cellmates, and were they questioned?
They did have cellmates. I believe Trooper Creech interviewed the cellmates.
Was there a weapon used at all?
We did not locate a weapon.
All right, any questions based on the jury's questions?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Trooper. You may step down. Next witness, please.
State will call Catherine Daly.
And thank you, Erica, for being a member for 4 months. Okay, this is the medical person. So we're going to skip some of the more
Swear affirm the testimony you give is received the truth.
unsavory parts.
Good morning. Could you please state your name, spelling your last name for the record?
Yes, my name is Catherine Daly. Last name is spelled Dailey.
And where are you currently employed?
I'm currently employed at the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations. It's commonly referred to as BCI.
And what is your job title at BCI?
I am a forensic scientist in the DNA section.
And how long have you been a forensic scientist at BCI?
I've been a forensic scientist in the DNA section since December of 2011.
And what do you do as a forensic scientist in the DNA section?
I will analyze items of evidence. I participate in a peer review process. I'll write reports based on my findings, and I also testify as needed.
Can you please tell the jury about your educational background, which qualifies you to be a forensic scientist at BCI?
Yes, I have a Bachelor of Science degree. My major was in microbiology. My minor was in chemistry. I received that degree from Ohio University in Athens, Ohio.
And outside of working at BCI since December of 2011, have you had any other jobs in this field?
No, just BCI.
Do you participate in continuing education and ongoing training in the field of forensic science as it relates to DNA?
Yes, we do.
How often do you do that?
Training, we'll go to conferences. We also are required by the FBI's quality assurance standards to complete a minimum of 8 hours of continuing education each year.
And are you current on all of that continuing education?
Yes, I am.
And is BCI an accredited laboratory?
Yes, they are.
Can you briefly explain to the jury what that means?
Accredited laboratory is when an outside agency will come in and they will make sure that you are following your set of procedures, as well as those, in our instance, those dictated by the FBI's quality assurance standards as well, that DNA is held to. And they'll report back whether you are following all of those standards and procedures or if there are areas that you can improve on.
And was BCI accredited when you conducted the testing as it relates to this case in January and February of 2024?
Yes.
And is it still accredited today?
Yes, it is.
Do you undergo any proficiency testing?
Yes, we undergo proficiency testing twice a year, and that's given by an outside agency as well.
And what is the purpose of that proficiency testing?
The purpose of the proficiency test is to make sure that you are following your procedures and that you also get an expected result from following those procedures so that you're adequately analyzing evidence through the laboratory.
And is the analysis that you do, the work that you do, is that ever checked?
Yes.
What does that process look like?
Each of our reports undergoes a technical review, which is done by an additional forensic scientist, and it also undergoes an administrative review that is completed by a supervisor in our DNA section. The technical reviewer is going to look at all of the data and your conclusions in your reports and assure that they agree with those conclusions that you came to and that the data is sufficient. The administrative review also does those steps, as well as they're looking for also the administrative sides of things. So grammatical errors, making sure that everything is tracked correctly within our software system that we use as well.
So fair to say they're not redoing your work. They're just looking at the notes you took, the processes you followed to make sure everything looks right.
Yes.
And have you ever testified before?
Yes, I have.
Approximately how many times have you testified?
Approximately 90 plus times.
And have those all been in the state of Ohio?
Yes, they have all been in the state of Ohio.
Have you testified in Warren County before?
Yes, I have.
And have you testified in federal court?
Yes, I have.
And have you been qualified as an expert when you've testified?
Yes, I have been qualified as an expert.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 59.
Yeah.
Can I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
You could look at that, tell the jury what it is, and if that's a fair and accurate copy.
This is a full copy of my CV, and it is a fair and accurate copy.
Your Honor, at this time, we respectfully request that this court qualify Catherine Daly as an expert in forensic DNA analysis.
Mr. Oswald, do you wish to voir dire this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will recognize her as an expert.
Thank you. Before we get into the specifics, can you generally explain for the jury what is DNA?
DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. It's the blueprint for our body, so it's going to tell us things like what color eyes and what color hair we have. We get half of our DNA from our mom and half from our dad. DNA is useful for forensic comparisons for two reasons. The first, that it is the same throughout an individual's body. So I could take a sample from my mouth as well as a sample from my blood, and I would expect to get the same DNA profile. The second reason is that it's unique to each individual. So my DNA would be different than your DNA profile. And that's true in cases except for identical siblings. And before we get into the specifics of the testing you did in this case, I'd like to just give the jury an overview of the process that's followed at BCI as it relates to DNA testing specifically. How does an item come into BCI? Items of evidence are submitted to the laboratory through our evidence receiving staff. When they get that evidence, they're going to assign the case a unique BCI lab number, as well as unique item numbers for each of the items. And those are tracked using a barcode that's placed on each of the items. They are then stored in a secure vault until analysis is to be done on those items. We can manage all of that through our laboratory information management system. We call it LIMS. So that's a computer program that we can use, a system of barcodes to track items throughout the laboratory and to see what step they are in our analysis as well.
And what kind of information do you receive when a law enforcement agency submits an item to BCI?
When an agency submits that item to BCI, we're going to receive a short description of what that item is, as well as how it is related to the case. So we get a short synopsis of what happened in that incident.
And is there one person involved in the testing of DNA at BCI? Like, do you do every step, or is that a multi-person process?
We utilize a teamwork approach at BCI to analyze items of evidence for DNA analysis.
So can you kind of walk the jury through that process of testing an item for DNA?
Sure. When the item is first looked at, it's going to be looked by an analyst to determine what samples might need to be collected from that item. They're going to look for any bodily fluids that might be present and test those as needed. And they'll also collect samples from areas where someone might have come in contact with an item. So for instance, if it's a shirt, they might take a sample from the shoulder area where the seam is, because that would be where friction occurs and where we would expect DNA or skin cells to be left behind. Or they might cut the paper from around a cigarette filter, because that's what's going to come in contact with someone's mouth. The second step in that process is called extraction, where we're going to utilize chemicals similar to a washing machine to get the DNA off of that sample that was collected. So trying to remove the DNA from the swab that was taken or the cutting from the paper on the cigarette filter, for example. The third step is called quantification, where we're going to determine how much DNA was obtained from that sample. Then we're going to do amplification, which utilizes a kit to make millions and millions of copies of certain regions of the DNA profile. And the last step, it's a big fancy word for taking a picture of the DNA profile, and it's called electrophoresis. So once we have those pictures at the end of the DNA profile, we can have those pictures for both known samples, so DNA reference standards is what we call those, as well as samples from evidence items. And we can set those two pictures next to each other and see if they are similar or dissimilar, and see if we can tell who may or may not have been contributing DNA to an item.
Now, if a stain is seen, a stain with potential bodily fluids is seen on an item of clothing, let's say, how is a sample obtained of that stain?
It kind of depends on what that item is. A cutting could be taken if it's fabric, or if it's a hard surface like a piece of plastic or a piece of metal, you can use a swab to remove that bodily fluid and then send the swab forward for DNA analysis.
If the stain appears to be reddish in color and may look like a blood stain to a layperson, is there a test you conduct to confirm that that is blood?
We utilize a presumptive test, meaning that it gives us an indication that blood may be present. It's not confirmatory, just because it does cross-react with things like rust. But we will utilize that test to see if blood may be present on an item.
And then once you've done those first three steps, how is the DNA analyzed or interpreted?
The DNA is interpreted based off of those pictures that I mentioned before. A qualified analyst goes through some pretty intense training to learn how to interpret DNA profiles. So during that learning process, they're going to look for what qualities to look for in that DNA profile to determine if it is sufficient for comparison or if it is not sufficient for comparison. In the case that it is sufficient for comparison, they will then compare that evidence profile to those of any known standards that have been submitted in the case.
And is the methodology that you just explained, is that generally accepted in the scientific community?
Yes.
So I want to turn your attention to January and February of 2024. During that time period, did you have occasion to participate in the testing and analysis of a number of items submitted for testing by the Ohio State Highway Patrol related to a homicide investigation?
Yes, I did.
And were those both a number of evidence items that were recovered as well as DNA samples through buccal swabs or blood cards of related individuals?
Yes.
And did you ultimately issue a report with your findings?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to approach and show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 62. Can you please identify that for the jury?
State's Exhibit 62 is my report that was issued on February 23rd of 2024.
And is that a fair and accurate copy of your report?
Yes.
Outside of the exhibit sticker, has it been modified or altered in any way?
It has not.
So I want to talk about a couple of the items that you tested, okay? Let's start with item number 6. What was submitted for testing?
BCI item number 6 was a brown paper bag that contained a sweatshirt with a stain.
And did you have information of where that item was recovered when it was submitted?
Yes, it was found in Mr. Ogletree's cell, per the synopsis that was submitted with this item.
For number 6, was that found in Ogletree's cell or Cummings' cell?
I would have to reference the synopsis, but I believe Ogletree.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 60. And ask if you recognize that item.
Yes. State's Exhibit 60 is BCI item number 6. I recognize it based off of the barcode that contains the unique information from BCI on it.
And was the process you described earlier used in the analysis of this item?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and pull that out?
Aw, a sweatshirt
And
you shouldn't
When
have.
you hold that sweatshirt up, is there a cutting taken from the front of that sweatshirt? And would that have been the cutting taken by BCI?
Yes, it would have.
You can go ahead and place it back in the paper. And taking a look at the bag, is there an Ohio State Highway Patrol sticker on that bag?
Yes.
And does that indicate a cell number where that item was found?
Yes.
What cell number is that?
2J31.
And is that also indicated on your report in the description of item number 6?
Yes,
And is it fair to say you don't know who was in 2J31?
that's correct.
Were you able to develop a DNA profile off of the material that was analyzed for item number 6, the sweatshirt?
Yes.
And was it sufficient, was that profile sufficient to compare to known samples submitted?
Yes, it was.
And you described earlier that you have to make a determination if it is sufficient or insufficient to compare. What makes something insufficient to compare?
Something would be insufficient if there wasn't enough DNA obtained from the item. It could also be insufficient if there are too large of a number of individuals contributing to the DNA. So our validation data supports us interpreting profiles that have 4 to 5 individuals in them at most.
And so you said this sample you were able to compare.
Yes.
And what were the results of that comparison?
The DNA profile from the cutting from the stain on the sweatshirt was a mixture of individuals, meaning that there's more than one person contributing to the DNA on that item. The major DNA profile, or the individual contributing the higher concentration of DNA on that item, was consistent with Marquise Wetherington. There is additional DNA present that is not sufficient for comparison, and Jason Addison, Anthony Cummings, James Ogletree, and Clifford Johnson are not the major contributor.
Your father. Oh,
Can you please explain the statistical significance of that DNA match?
So when there is an evidence profile that is consistent with a standard submitted in the case, we will calculate a statistic to show how rare or common that DNA profile is within the population. So I would have to test a number larger than 1 trillion unrelated individuals before I would expect to find someone else that had the same DNA profile that was obtained from the stain on the sweatshirt.
would have been nice
The
if they did
stain
this in the
on
Zach
the sweatshirt
Anderson
that was
trial, but
analyzed.
okay.
Was the presumptive blood test done on that stain?
Yes, it was.
And what were the results of that presumptive blood test?
It was presumptive positive for blood.
And so you were not able to further compare the rest of the mixture, is that correct?
Correct. The additional DNA on that item was not of sufficient quality for comparisons.
Moving to item 4 that you tested. What was submitted for testing?
BCI item number 4 was a brown paper bag containing thermal pants with stains.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 61. Please identify that.
State's Exhibit 61 is BCI item number 4, and I recognize that based off of its unique barcode.
And could you go ahead and open that?
Well, factual lie into Zachariah Anderson, what I believe is a wrongful conviction. The DNA was so vague. It was just, in my opinion, of scientific certainty. It's him. They never said how many.
And was there
One
a
and
cutting
whatever.
taken from that as well?
There's a cutting on the knee.
And that would have been taken by BCI?
Yes.
And was a presumptive blood test run on that staining?
Yes.
What were the results of that?
Right. And can you get the bag away from the microphone,
Swabbing that
sweetie?
they took
Thank
from the
you.
knee area stain was presumptive positive for blood.
And you can go ahead and put that back in.
Good Lord. Man. Oh, good. More bags. Yeah. Okay. Just jam it in there.
Is there an
you go.
Ohio State Highway Patrol sticker on the outside of that bag?
Yes.
And does that indicate where that item was located?
Yes, it does.
What cell number is that?
2J17.
And is that also what is reflected on your report?
Yes.
And was the process you described earlier used in the analysis of this item for DNA?
Yes, it was.
And were you able to develop a DNA profile?
Yes.
Was it sufficient to compare to known samples?
Yes, it was.
And what were the results of that comparison?
The DNA profile obtained from the cutting from the stain on the right knee was a mixture of DNA profiles. Again, more than one individual contributing DNA to this profile. The major was consistent with Marquise Wetherington. There was also additional DNA present that was not of sufficient quality for comparison to any individual. And Jason Addison, Anthony Cummings, James Ogletree, and Clifford Johnson were not the major contributor.
And were both items 60 and 61, as you viewed them today, in substantially similar or the same condition as when they were submitted to BCI?
Yes.
I'm also going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 45. Is there a BCI sticker on that?
Yes.
And could you please identify what that is?
State's Exhibit 45 is BCI item number 10, which is a blood card from Marquise Wetherington.
Could you go ahead and open that as well, please?
Do you have scissors?
It should already be open. I have scissors now.
Oh, okay.
I think he cut along the tape line.
Don't cut her, Judge.
Okay. Thank you.
And what is the purpose in an item like that being submitted to BCI?
This is a known sample from a known individual, so we know where this DNA profile would come from. So this is submitted to BCI for comparison purposes.
So that was analyzed and was used to compare Marquise Wetherington's DNA with that which was found on the items in 60 and 61.
That's correct.
And is that in the same or substantially similar condition as to when it was submitted to BCI?
Yes.
And what was going back to item number 4, what's the statistical significance of that DNA match?
I would have to test a number larger than 1 trillion unrelated individuals before I would find another individual that had a DNA profile consistent with that of the one obtained from the cutting from the stain on the right knee of the thermal pants.
How do you calculate that statistical significance?
It's calculated similar to how you figure out your odds of winning the lottery. So, for instance, if I had 3 buckets of balls and in each bucket I had 10 balls numbered 1 through 10. So if I were to say that if I pulled a 1 from each of those buckets, I'd win my lottery, right? So it's 1 in 10 times 1 in 10 times 1 in 10 or 1 in 1,000. When I was talking earlier about taking a picture of the DNA profile, we're taking pictures of little snippets of each different part of the DNA profile. So those are my buckets. So I'm taking that DNA profile and calculating the statistic in a similar manner.
I want to talk briefly about a couple of the other items that were submitted for testing. Item 1. What was item 1 that was submitted?
BCI item number 1 was a brown paper bag containing a towel with stains.
And were the stains given the presumptive blood test?
Yes.
And what were the results of that test?
They were presumptive positive for blood.
And there were 2 different swabbings taken from item 1, is that correct?
That's correct.
One of those swabbings was positive for DNA from Marquise Wetherington, correct?
Yes, the DNA profile obtained from the swabbing of the stain was consistent with Marquise Weatherington.
And there was also swabbing taken from the ends of that towel, correct?
That's correct.
Which ends?
It would have been from the small ends. So if you lay out a towel and it's a rectangle, from the shorter ends.
And was a DNA profile developed?
Yes, there was a DNA profile developed, but it was not of sufficient quality for comparison due to the number of contributors.
And again, looking at item 2, what was item 2 that was submitted?
Item 2 was a brown paper bag containing a piece of fabric or a rope.
And were there stains present on that piece of rope?
Yes, there were.
And were those stains given the presumptive blood test?
Yes, they were presumptive positive for blood.
And again, there were samples taken from different parts of that rope, correct?
That's correct.
And from the stain, one of the stains itself, that was a DNA profile consistent with Marquise Weatherington, correct?
That's correct.
Where else was a sample taken from on that rope?
There were samples taken from the very ends of each side of the rope.
And was the DNA profile able to be, were you able to find a DNA profile from that sampling?
Yes.
What were the results of that?
The DNA profile from the swabbings of the ends, the analyst who collected the sample specifically avoided stained areas. The DNA profile was a mixture, meaning that it was from more than one individual. The major DNA profile was consistent with Marquise Weatherington. There was additional DNA present that's not of sufficient quality for comparison. And James Addison, Anthony Cummings, James Ogletree, and Clifford Johnson are not the major contributor.
And items 1 and 2, does your report indicate where those items were found?
Items 1 and 2, it says located in cell 2J3.
Thank you. If I could have just one moment, Your Honor. The results that you have talked about today, the comparisons that were made, are those to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty?
Yes, the comparisons that I made are based on my education, experience, and training.
I have nothing further.
Cross?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I just want to kind of go overview of DNA, and then I'll ask you more specifically about your report. You stated that there was a major contributor, and this comes up when there's a mixture, correct?
Yes.
So can you explain what a mixture is to the jury?
A mixture is a DNA profile where there is more than one individual contributing to the DNA.
And when you have a mixture, you can have a major and minor contributor.
It's possible.
Okay. So for example, if I wore a baseball hat, gave it, and I was sweaty, gave it to you, you wore it, you were sweaty. Either one of us would be a major and minor. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's accurate.
So even though I may have wore it for 6 hours, you wore it for 5 minutes, it's possible you'd be the major contributor, I'd be the minor contributor.
That's possible.
And what is transference?
Transfer is when DNA is transferred from one item to another. So for instance, from my hand to the papers that I've been handling today.
And you can transfer that on clothing by touch, or if you rub against it, DNA can transfer from item to item.
Yes, when contact happens between either bodily fluids or your skin cells with an item, DNA can be transferred.
And what is it when it's inconclusive?
Transfer inconclusive?
No, I'm sorry, when you test DNA and it's inconclusive result.
When something is inconclusive, that means that there's not enough DNA present, or the DNA profile is not sufficient to include or exclude someone. You call them inconclusive.
And you stated that the misconception is DNA is a match. It's not actually a match. You eliminate people to determine who the DNA belongs to. Is that fair?
We say at BCI that DNA either is consistent with an individual or that they're excluded. On rare occasions, we might say that someone is inconclusive.
So for example, in your report, you say the occurrence for Weatherington of DNA profiles rarer than 1 in 1 trillion unrelated individuals. So the way that works, if we had 1 trillion people and said, it's not your DNA, the last man standing, that would be Weatherington. Is that fair to say?
The This is calculated based off of the evidence profile, not a DNA standard. So it's saying how rare or common that evidence DNA profile might be in a population. And the number of individuals for each of the statistics, I believe listed in my report, is a larger number than 1 trillion unrelated individuals. And that's just based off of the statistical determination. I would have to calculate or test that number of individuals before I would theoretically find another person whose DNA is similar to that of the one obtained from the evidence items.
So I do want to look at your report now and just ask you about a few of these items. Item number 1 is the towel with a stain located in cell 2J3, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Sal
And
likes chunky
are you
monkeys.
aware that cell
Thank you,
2J3
David.
is Weatherington cell?
I do not have that committed to memory.
Okay. So this was a towel located in that cell, and you said there was a match for Marquise Weatherington, but you excluded out Anthony Cummings.
That's correct. The DNA profile was consistent with Weatherington, and Anthony Cummings is excluded.
So no DNA on that.
He is not the father.
There is DNA present, yes.
I'm sorry, none of Cummings' DNA on that item.
Whoa.
Nothing that was detected. He is excluded from the DNA profile that was
I
obtained.
don't want to know where you
And
get
then
the
the swabbing
DNA
from
from.
the ends of that towel, you stated was not sufficient quality for comparison.
That's correct.
Item number 2, you said
No
is a piece
Cumming
of fabric.
DNA.
I'm sorry. It was a rope with stain located in cell 2J3, correct?
Yes, it was a rope, submitted as a rope, appeared to be a piece of fabric.
And again, cuttings from that stain is consistent with Weatherington,
Yes, the DNA profile from the stain is consistent with Marquise Weatherington.
and Anthony Cummings was excluded.
That's correct.
And then the swabbing from the ends, you said the major contributor was Weatherington,
Yes, the major profile is consistent with Marquise Weatherington.
and you said the remainder of the DNA is not sufficient quality for comparison.
Yes, from any individual. That's correct.
And then item number 3, the T-shirt located in the trash. You stated that that was consistent with Weatherington,
Yes, the DNA profile from the stain on the back collar of the T-shirt is consistent with Marquise Weatherington.
and you excluded Anthony Cummings.
That's correct.
Item number 4, the white thermals. You stated that's consistent with Weatherington,
The major DNA profile from the cutting of the stain on the right knee is consistent with Marquise Weatherington.
and the remainder of that mixture contains DNA that is not sufficient for quality for comparison.
Yes, again, from any individual.
Item number 5 looks like it was a shoe with a stain located in cell 2J17, correct? A black shoe,
Yes,
and it was presumptive for blood, but no DNA analysis was completed.
that's correct.
Do you know why that was not completed?
Yes, if we would have done DNA analysis on that item, it would have consumed the sample. There was a conversation had with the prosecutor at the time, and it was chosen not to consume that sample.
Oh, so you did
And then
not
item number
consume
6
the
is the sweatshirt located in
sample,
cell 2J31.
which was also done in the Zachariah Anderson trial, so the defense had nothing to test.
Yes,
And again, that was consistent with Weatherington, but the remainder of the mixture contains DNA that is not of sufficient quality for comparison.
yes, the major DNA profile was consistent with Marquise Weatherington.
No further questions.
Any redirect?
On any of the samples that you tested, did you find any results consistent with the DNA of James Ogletree?
I did not.
I have no further questions, Chair.
Any recross?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Ms. Daly at this time, please reduce them to writing. Do not discuss or display any proposed question with any other member of the jury. Oh, thank you.
So we go for a little bit more, and then I'll redirect you over to Hella.
I'm going to excuse you and may step down.
Thank you.
So it is 11:23. So let's plan on retreating until about 11:45, 11:50, 11:50. All right, 11:50.
Do some jury instruction talk. We don't need to watch that.
And the defendant, there is another jury has returned a verdict and is preventing right now security from bringing in Mr. Cummings. But just in talking about these jury instructions, looking at page 5 and 6.
Oh, that must have been the reef. Oh, that must have been the no, reefer was the next. Oh, I wonder if that was the one we saw the sentencing for today. So, gosh.
Are you licensed to practice medicine
Yes,
in both the state of Ohio and Indiana?
yes,
And are you board certified?
I am.
What areas are you board certified in? And could you explain to the jurors, what does it mean to be board certified?
Board certification is going through a series of tests through the American Board of Pathology. And I am board certified in anatomic pathology, clinical pathology, forensic pathology, and hematopathology.
Are you a member of any professional organizations?
I'm a member of NAME, the National Association of Medical Examiners.
And could you talk to the jurors a little bit about what that organization is?
It is an organization of forensic pathologists where we're able to share ideas and cases.
And doctor, do you have a CV or a curriculum vitae detailing your credentials and education?
Yes.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 63. You can take a look at that and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, so this is my CV.
And is that a fair and accurate copy of your CV? There's been no alterations or deletions to it?
No.
All right. Doctor, could you explain to the jury what is pathology?
So pathology is
The study of paths.
study of disease.
Wow.
And then what is forensic pathology?
Forensic pathology is a little more specified with disease and or injury as it pertains to the legal system.
You've already testified the performance of your work includes performing autopsies, is that correct?
Yes.
How many autopsies do you think you've performed, doctor?
A little over 5,000.
5,000?
5,000.
Okay. And have you testified in court concerning previous autopsies that you performed?
Yes.
How many times do you think you've testified in court?
Oh, a little over 100 probably.
During those times, were you qualified as an expert in the field of forensic pathology?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would tender Dr. Susan Brown as an expert in the area of forensic pathology.
Mr. Oswald, you wish to inquire?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will recognize the doctor as an expert.
And doctor, let me ask you, we're here to talk about an autopsy that you performed on Marquise Wetherington, is that correct?
Yes.
You prepared a report related to your findings and the work that you performed, is that correct?
Yes.
I want to hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 64, just because this might assist you as you're testifying. If you take a look at State's Exhibit 64 and let me know whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, this is a copy of the autopsy report that I prepared and then also the toxicology report.
Fair and accurate copy of those reports?
Yes.
No alterations or deletions have been made to them?
No.
Okay. So let's talk about December the 8th. You testified you had an autopsy or you had the opportunity to perform an autopsy on Marquise Wetherington. Is that correct?
Yes.
He was 32 years old at the time.
Yes.
Where is this autopsy conducted?
At the Montgomery County Coroner's Office in Dayton.
Who's all present for an autopsy?
We have morgue assistants. We had 2 morgue assistants as well as a photographer.
And what's the purpose of having a photographer there?
To take pictures to document our findings.
Start his
Can
OnlyFans.
you talk to the jurors a little bit about the process of an autopsy? How do you go about conducting one?
So we start with photographs to depict how the deceased individual looked
Their
when
nickname,
they
Bones.
arrived at our facility. And then we do an external examination, so looking at the outside of the body for any kind of natural disease or injury. And then we do the same thing with the inside, so with all of the organs, also looking for any kind of natural disease or injury, and taking pictures along the way of our findings.
And was that same process followed with your autopsy of Mr. Wetherington?
Yes.
Okay. You previously mentioned that photographs were taken during this autopsy. Would those photographs materially assist you in explaining your testimony today?
Yes.
I want to show you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibits 65 through 85. You can take a look at those. Let me know if you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, these are the autopsy photographs.
Do all of those photographs fairly and accurately depict 32-year-old Marquise Wetherington during different stages of the autopsy?
Yes,
Let me ask you, from looking at your report, do you have a height and weight for Mr. Wetherington?
yes.
And if you could let the jurors know what that is, please.
184 pounds and 69 inches.
And if you could help everyone out who's bad at math, when you say 69 inches,
Five-
okay, perfect. You're under permission to publish the photographs.
Yes.
So we're going to start with State's Exhibit 65.
Nice.
It'll be up on the screen. It'll be up on your screen as well, and that's a touch screen. So if you need to highlight anything, you can circle or point. That brought up. You tell the jurors, what are we looking at in State's Exhibit 65? Attention.
Okay, I just skipped past the gruesome autopsy photos. I think I got them all.
Immediately.
Yes,
In addition to assessing Mr. Wetherington's injuries, was a toxicology also run on Mr. Wetherington?
yes.
And what does that check for? What's the purpose of doing a toxicology?
It checks for drugs in the blood.
Was there anything illegal found in any illegal narcotics or anything that shouldn't have been in Mr. Wetherington's toxicology found?
No, nothing.
Fentanyl?
Nothing was found in toxicology.
Doctor, we've talked about your report. Does that report contain an opinion as to the cause of Mr. Wetherington's death?
Yes,
And doctor, based on your education, training, and experience as a forensic pathologist, and based on your autopsy of Mr. Wetherington, do you have an opinion within a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to the cause of Mr. Wetherington's death?
yes.
And what is that, doctor?
Blunt force trauma of the head and strangulation.
Okay, so if you could, because you talked about blunt force trauma to the head and strangulation, how do they work together? Is it one or the other? Did both play a role in it? Would both have caused his death?
So I believe they're both happening at the same time, and yes, both playing a role in his death. While either one alone could cause someone's death, what I have to evaluate for him is all of his injuries, not just one injury in isolation. And so I believe they're both causing his death.
I don't have any further questions. Thank you, doctor.
Cross?
So I just want to follow up on that last statement about the blunt force trauma and strangulation. You said they were both happening at the same time.
I believe all of his injuries are occurring at the same time.
And you said there was, on both sides of the skull, right and left side, there's also blunt force trauma.
Yes.
So, but you can't tell us which one happened first or second?
No, I can't.
You can't tell us when the strangulation, if it happened before or after the blunt force trauma?
No, I can't.
You can't tell us which blunt force trauma may have killed him?
Well, the trauma of his head.
But the two, there's one on the right side, one on the left side. If you don't know which one came first or second, you couldn't identify. I guess they're both contributing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to estimate a time of death?
No, I didn't go to the scene.
Okay.
So I am doing my evaluation
Oh,
the following day.
Right.
did you
Yes,
stick your
no, I
hands
did
in his
not estimate
armpit?
Time of death.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Hey, redirect.
Nothing. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Dr. Brown, please reduce them to writing. Do not discuss or display any proposed question with other members of the jury.
Hella's covering the furry fanatic after this. I wouldn't want to see brain, but others, I'm a bit gory, sorry. No, if it was just like the body or just like wounds, maybe. But like they showed the actual autopsy photos, like all cut up and just, it was, I know it's their job, but at least for me, who doesn't normally.
Dr.
See
Brown,
that
the
stuff.
members of the jury have just a few questions, and I'll read them to you. The attorneys may have follow-up, okay?
Okay.
What caused the lacerations on the side of his head, the cuts?
So that is blunt force trauma of some kind. Typically, that can be caused from his head hitting an object or even a fist hitting his head.
Okay. And this is a follow-up question to that, actually. Could a laceration of that severity occur from a blunt force from a hand versus a hard surface?
Yes, either one.
Would it take two people to have results such as neck and head injuries?
Two people inflicting the injury? Is that the question?
Yes.
I don't necessarily think you would have to have two people.
Any questions based on the jury's questions, Mr. Knipp?
That's not a good question for from the jury.
You may step down. You're excused.
If I was a state, I would not like that
All right,
question very much.
That's the end of your witnesses.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now 12:35, and
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and take an hour for lunch. So let's plan on being back into the jury room at 1:35. Remember my instructions.
Well, I still got 30 minutes.
Saying, Mr. Lawson's handing you a form. It's an affidavit of indigency that you need to sign.
That case.
Ma'am,
Yes, we'll try again. Yes, we will. But of course,
Mr. Lawson's going to hand you a form. You know, part of the problem here is there's too much of this and not enough of this. You need to close your mouth and listen to what I'm saying. Mr. Lawson's handing you a form. It's an affidavit of indigency that you need to sign for me.
I say that a lot to Hella. I recorded the whole day, and some of the parts I forgot to edit out. So they're waiting for the jury to get in there. Sir, put your phone away. Oh, looks like he's testifying. So I guess we'll start his testimony. We'll do like 15, 20 minutes, I guess. And then finish it tomorrow, and we'll get to the verdict tomorrow, I think.
You can be seated. Go ahead, Sam. Some things you just take for granted, like the court reporter being sitting at where she's. Sorry.
I went to a party.
All right, ladies and you're okay. Able to follow arrested. The defense is beginning their case in chief. Mr. Oswald, your first witness, please.
But we'd call Anthony Cummings to the stand.
Oh! Swear from the testimony you'll give in these proceedings to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
So help me God.
He's coming to the stand.
Go ahead.
Can you state your full name for the record and spell your last name?
Anthony Cummings, Cummings.
And how old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
In what area of Ohio are you from?
Lorain County.
And where's that?
A little county outside of Cleveland.
Okay. And we knew you were in prison on December 6th of 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
What were you in prison for? What felony convictions?
Burglary, drug possession, and theft.
I think a weapons under. And
weapons under disability.
Okay. And what was your projected out date?
September 25th of 2025.
All right. I want to ask you, how do you know Marquise Weatherington?
Well, he has a brother that's from my neighborhood named Thomas. We good friends, and one of his children and a female I was messing with was good friends.
Okay.
Female I was messing with.
I known him before I came to prison, like 2 years before I came to prison. I known him, and while I was in prison, we was friends the whole time.
What year did you get to prison?
I came to prison in 2021. He got to lab. We've been friends in lab since I knew him. He just got down there like 7-8 months before.
Okay, what's lab?
Lebanon Corrections.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you knew him prior to prison, and then you were with him for how long?
The whole 7-8 months he was there.
Okay. Do you know if Weatherington's in a gang?
No, he wasn't in no gang.
All right. How do you know James Ogletree?
Really don't know him. I know him from the block of being in a gang, but I don't know him outside of that.
What gang is he in?
He's a heartless felon.
Okay. And obviously in prison, you've heard testimony about commissary.
Yes, sir.
So explain to the jury what commissary is.
We just partake in the
commissary
occasional
is
murder.
food that you can go to the store and buy every 2 weeks. Put money on your books, your family or your friends or a female, if you got any, and they'll put money
Or
on your
a female.
books, and you can go to the store.
Why is commissary important?
Well, that's really the only thing that you have for real. Like that's your money in jail.
You heard the officer say that's currency, essentially?
Yeah, that's currency.
So what can you trade commissary for? What can you get out of it?
You can trade commissary for drugs. You can trade commissary for clothes. Anything that you really need in prison, you can trade for commissary.
Oh,
Are
he's a
there
little
any rules regarding
capitalist.
commissary among the prisoners?
Certain gangs got their own certain rules, but I wasn't in a
They
gang,
got
so I
bylaws.
don't know their rules on how they move with their commissary.
Okay, so let's talk about gangs. What types of gangs were in J Block?
Heartless Felons, Cincinnati White Boys, Gangster Disciples, Crips, Bloods.
Cincinnati White Boys.
It was a lot of gangs.
Okay.
Isn't that an
And so
oxymoron?
do the gangs, sorry, that. Do the gangs stay within themselves, or do they, I guess, cross over with other gangs or other inmates?
No, gangs stay within themselves.
Okay. So you said the gangs have rules regarding commissary. Do you know what those are?
Like, other gangs aren't allowed they're allowed to steal from other people, but not from themselves. So they can take commissary from somebody, but they're not allowed to take commissary from their own gang.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
That would be
I
wrong.
presume another gang, otherwise that's going to create a problem.
Yeah, that will create a problem.
So someone like Weatherington who's not in a gang, he's probably more susceptible to people stealing his commissary because that's the gangs, what they do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are there many fights in prison on the J Block?
That was the worst block in the prison at the time. That was literally the worst block.
So how often would you see a fight?
Every day, every other day, for real.
And do you even know what they're
For
fighting
real?
about?
Literally over everything.
Hey, no.
Commissary, somebody taking somebody's shower, somebody staying in if you don't get in the microwave in time, they might fight you over the microwave. So
Cincinnati White Boys. Yeah, they really do sound like an a cappella group.
Are there rules after a fight happens?
yeah, it's rules after a fight.
What are those
Yes,
rules
to
among
make
the inmates?
Like if you get into a fight in prison and say if you got a black eye or swollen, you don't come out your cell majority of the time to show a CO because you would be considered snitching. Because if a CO see you with a black eye or something, and they got to go and investigate that, and go back, run the camera, see who was in the room, see that you just got in a fight. Now y'all go to the hole. So they'd be like, all right, you told basically. So you would be considered a snitch.
So you said if you're cut, you stay in your room?
Yeah, if you're cut, bruised, black eyes, normal for when somebody gets into a fight, they don't come out.
And you heard corrections officer Lay's testimony that they would make excuses why they were cut and they would never admit to being in a fight.
Yeah, they never. If somebody comes out and they got a black eye or a bruise, 9 times out of 10, if a CO asks you, "Oh, I fell," or "I hit something," or something like I ran into the wall or I hit the desk in my cell or something.
All right, I'm gonna show you this document. Take a look at it. Just tell me what it is, and then I'll publish it for you.
This is a picture of the cell.
And that's J Block.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now publish it. And I'll ask you some questions.
Just for the record,
Defendant's Exhibit A.
thank you, sir.
All right, so can you see that on your screen there?
Yes, sir.
All right, now we know this is kind of a mirror image of what Weatherington cell is, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because Weatherington cell had the bed on the left.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Why is this diagram important for the jury to see?
Because it's not big enough for 2 people to even be in there, like fighting somebody. They couldn't even get him out of the cell. 2 people. It's not a big enough cell for just 2 people to just be in there just doing anything crazy.
And you're saying that because when we look at the width of the bed's 2.5 feet, right?
Yeah.
And then the width of the footlockers is another 17 inches, roughly 1.5 feet.
Yes, sir.
So that leaves about a 2-foot aisle in between.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's a fair and accurate depiction of the cell
It
measurements.
would be
Yes,
hard
sir.
for 2 people to fight one person.
All right, next I want to talk to you about kites. Can you explain to the jury what a kite is?
A kite is, you can kite the warden, you can kite the head of the block, you can kite anybody that's in charge of the prison, you feel me? Somebody that's on the block, you can
I feel
kite them,
you.
like the unit manager. You can send them a kite and they'll respond back to you on a kite. That's how you get a hold of anybody higher than the correction officers that's working on the block.
So you're using kite like a verb, like you kite them. What is it, a request you're making?
Yeah, you're making a request.
What types of requests are you making?
You can request to get a job. You can request to move the block. You can request to, move rooms. That's how you ask them through a kite.
Okay. And did you send kites while you were on J Block?
Yes, I send kites.
And why did you send kites?
Well, I've been trying to get out of J Block for a long time because of the gang problems and just everything that was going on over there. Like I was going through that for the last year and a half that I was over there. So I've been kiting. I'm trying to get out of the block.
Was your commissary being stolen on J Block?
That's my commissary got stolen on a couple occasions.
Okay. Do you know by who?
Yeah, like gangs, like when you go to child or you at rec or something, you would come back and all your commissary would be gone. And since I'm not in no gang, it was easy for somebody to go in my room and take my commissary while I was gone.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you some kites. Just take a moment. Look through those. I'm done reviewing until the jury was about. This is going to be Defendant's Exhibit B, C, D, E.
Thank you.
Will he ask the prosecutor
all
to
my
repeat the question on cross?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, are those accurate convictions of the kites?
Yes, yes, sir.
Have you identify them? So Defendant's Exhibit B. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what, obviously it's your name. What is the submitted date on this?
Submitted day is 9/28/23.
All right. And it says the room, what's the submitted room?
2J10.
Okay. So that's LCI, that's J block.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you read to the jury what you wrote?
I'm kiting again to move over there. I'm 90 days ticket free. I got less than 180 days left until I leave, and I'm trying to stay out the way. I'm in culinary class, and I've been on J for 2 years. I'm trying to stay focused on getting out and doing right, not the problems on J block. So when you get an open room, can you please consider me moving in, please, and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Now I'm showing you, sorry guys. Did you get any response from sending this kite?
Yes.
Okay. Were you moved off J block?
No.
All right, I'm gonna show you the next kite. All right, can you see that on your screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, again, it's your name. What's the submitted date?
10/3/23.
And your submitted room?
2J10.
All right, and what did you write?
I'm kiting it again because I asked my unit manager to put in the word because I really been like 8 months ticket free, and I had an incident, but Mr. Cole said he can't. He just told me to, I forgot what I said. Kite again. He told me to kite you again and keep it real. I was going on 5 months ticket free, and an inmate punched me, and I fought back. I only did 4 days in the hole because I defended myself. That was my last hole shot. I really need G block. I'm under the new law. I can catch extra time. I'm in culinary. I got less than 5 months left. That's why I keep kiting, because I don't want to take another chance of having to defend myself because I'm not in the gang. I complete my class in December. If you move me, I will get a job after that, and I promise you won't have no problems on me. You can look at the video on my last ticket and see I'm telling the truth. I'm not a bad inmate. I just want to go home with the right mindset. And J block, it's hard to stay in my room just so I won't get in trouble. Can you please consider me moving to your block? I promise you won't regret it.
And did you get a response after sending this guy?
Yes, I did.
And were you moved from J block?
No, I wasn't.
Sure. And Defendant's Exhibit D. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what is the submitted date?
10/4/23.
Submitted room?
2J10.
And what did you write?
I've been on J block for 2 years. I'm 90 days ticket free, and I got 135 days left, and I'm trying to stay out the way. Can you please consider me moving next time there's a room open? I know A block isn't any better. It's just my cousin is a porter over there, and he don't get tickets, and he got life, so I would like to see him before I leave. I promise I'm not a problem, and I won't be a problem if you decide to move me. Please and thank you.
And did you get a response after saying that, kite?
Yes, sir.
And were you moved from J block?
No, I wasn't.
So in your Defendant's Exhibit E. What's the submitted date on that?
10/5/23.
And the submitted room?
2J10.
And what did you write?
I'm trying to move to A block. I got 130 days left. I'm in culinary. I'm 90 days ticket free, and I'm not a problem.
Did you get a response from this guy?
Yes, sir.
Did they move you from J block?
No, sir.
And the last one, Defendant's Exhibit F. What's the submitted date?
10/24/23.
And submitted room?
2J46.
And what did you write?
I don't know if y'all put me on the list, but I've been trying to move for 3 months.
What? Santa's naughty list?
I'm like 6 or 7 months ticket free. I'm trying to get over there. I only got 4 months left. I'm in culinary and all.
And did you get a response from this guy?
Yes.
Were you ever moved out J block?
No, sir.
Okay. And did you ever express your concerns to Wetherington?
Yes.
And what did you tell him?
We both was having the same problems. I told him about both of us trying to move. We was in culinary together, so we did everything together. So I was telling them about the game problems and them taking my stuff and trying to move out the block.
Okay. And so you said he was having the same problems?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what did he ask from you at that point?
Well, we was just trying. The only thing we could do, because they weren't trying to move us, was keep kiting and asking to move out the block. That's the only thing we could do, and that's what he was trying to do as well.
All right. Now we know the incident took place December 6th of 2023, correct?
Yes, sir.
Prior to that, was Wetherington having problems with gangs, like a week before?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were those problems?
Well,
Objection. It's your side.
I don't know what the answer is yet, so
I'd also argue it's present sense impression. So I'm not offering it for the truth of the matter. But that's what he perceived.
Let's go a little bit farther, and then I'll rule on the objection. Okay.
Can you ask me a question again?
Yeah. About a week or so before December 6th of 2023.
Yes, sir.
Whether you said Weatherington was having problems.
Yes, somebody went in his room and took his stuff.
Okay. And what did he tell you after that happened?
Objection.
Well,
hang on. I'm going to overrule it at this point. I'm not sure it's being offered for the truth, so I'm going to overrule it.
Well, he told me he wanted to fight one of them so they can. Well, that's the only way you can, for real, or you would be considered food.
Okay, so let's break that down. You said fight one of them. Who's one of them?
One of the gang members that was taking his stuff.
Do you know what gang was taking it?
It was the Heartless Felons.
Okay. And then you said that's the only way to do it, otherwise you're a fool?
No, you are considered food.
Oh, considered food.
Yes.
Explain to the jury what that means.
And you're in
considered
culinary.
food, like if you let somebody take something from you one time and you don't do nothing about it, that means all gangs, it'd be open for all gangs to do it to you. So
Is
they
this
would
related
consider
to
you
your
food.
culinary job?
So Weatherington wanted to fight a Heartless Felon.
Yeah, he wanted to fight.
So what happened next?
Well, we was in Chow Hall. Well, the day of, we were in Chow Hall, and he told me that he just had a new bunkie. Addison just became his bunkie. And at first he thought when his stuff came up missing that day that it was his bunkie that took his stuff. But while we were in Chow, somebody pulled up on him and told him what really had happened. And so he came up to me and he told me basically that he wanted to fight one of them. Just make sure that he don't get jumped or they don't take the rest of his stuff.
Okay. Then what happened?
We go back to the block. It wasn't our time to be out at the time. So
what day is this? Is this December 6th yet?
Yes, this is the day.
Okay, this is December 6th, that
Yes,
day.
this is that day.
Okay, keep going.
We go to the block, and while we're on the block, we're not out yet. You know, they lock it down after trial. Everybody goes direct at this point. So we are literally the only people that's left on the block with who else didn't go to rec that day. He told me to make sure nobody came in the room and jumped them and make sure I watched the door. And that's what I did.
So now we've seen the video.
Yes,
we know
sir.
the time frame. It's roughly 7:04. Okay. And you saw the recording with you and Ogletree.
Yes, sir.
How do you connect with Ogletree?
All right. See, Ogletree, he's like one of the head, I guess, or one of them. So at first we really went to him trying to get this stuff back. But I guess in the gang, once they take your stuff, they're not allowed to give it back. So he was the one that was going to catch the one-on-one fight with him. So I told him, I'm just going to make sure that nobody comes in here and jump him. You feel me? We from the same city. We got to stick together.
So the Heartless Felons sent Ogletree to fight on their behalf.
Yes, sir.
And you were worried other Heartless Felons were going to jump Weatherington.
Weatherington was too. That's why in the video, when it first came on, you see him standing outside his door. We're outside the camera, so when he sees me, that's when he walks in his room. That's when he knows it's good. He cleans his room out. That's what you do when you fight. You move stuff out the way and clean out your room. So he cleaned out the room, and when he came and opened back the door, that's when I walked down there, and I walked in there, and Ogletree walked behind me.
And then what happened while you were in the cell?
Well, when I first got in there, they was arguing.
Tell me what.
They were arguing because they stole his stuff. And, you know, we thinking like, you know, you're not allowed to steal. That's what we thinking, that gangs aren't allowed to steal. So we like, can we just get the stuff back? Because, you know, we ain't thinking y'all stole it. It's not like they went in there and actively took his stuff. They stole it while we were at trial, when we was out of the room. So they're sitting there arguing back and forth. And while they're arguing, I'm in the middle of two of these grown men arguing. So I'm telling them, I'm not trying to get caught out of place, because if I get caught out of place, I'm going to the hole. So I'm like, man, if y'all about to fight, y'all fight. You feel me? Whatever y'all about to do, y'all do it. Then somebody came and knocked on the door and said, y'all been in here, man, what did y'all doing? Is y'all about to fight? Y'all about to fight. That's when y'all seen somebody knocking on the door, talking into the door.
Okay, when they were arguing, how loud were they?
It was loud, like people on the block could hear them.
How close were they?
That room is little.
So they were pretty close at that point?
Yeah, they
The
was pretty
guard
close.
couldn't hear them,
I walked in the room first, so I was in the middle of both of them at first.
Okay, so on this diagram,
I know, like we said, the bed's on the other side, but at least, so I believe it's a touchscreen.
Yes.
They listen to Jordan Peterson. They clean their room.
Weatherington is right here on the back wall. I'll be right here, and Ogletree is right here.
Okay. And so from 7:04 until 7:14,
sitting there arguing about what took place, because another gang informed us who took it, because we thought Addison and his gang, because Addison just moved to his room like a couple of days before. So we really thought that they took his stuff, because how do his stuff come up missing, but your stuff don't come up missing?
and you said they because we heard Officer Creech testify Addison was against the disciple.
Yeah, he was against the disciple.
And so when you say they, you thought maybe the disciples took it.
Yeah, we thought that, because how do they come in the room and take his stuff, but not your stuff?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
So for that 10-minute period while you were in there, was there any punches or fighting?
No, they was fighting over because Weatherington had the rest of his belongings in his bag on his bed. So they were sitting there arguing, and then he was like, basically told him like, y'all didn't even take my stuff, y'all stole it. Like, and that's when Ogletree was like, I'll take this right now. So now they're sitting here like tugging over the bag.
So that's the white bag we see you.
Yeah, that's the white bag.
And do you know what was in that bag?
It was some glasses. It was some like a couple of soups. It wasn't much because they took his stuff earlier before.
So Wetherington's personal property.
Yes.
Okay.
What he had left.
And at this point, they're arguing, tugging back and forth on this white bag.
Yes, sir.
Clean up your room.
So then I tell him, no, somebody knocked on the door and was like, man, what y'all doing? Like, is y'all about to fight? Hurry up. One of Ogletree's gang members came and knocked on the door.
So that guy we see in the video knocking on the door is a heartless felon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then what happens when you, at 7:14, we see you exit?
So when I grabbed the bag, I said, is y'all about to fight? Y'all fight, you feel me? And get this over with. So I walk out the room, they get to fighting. I go and drop the bag off and I come back to the room.
And that's where we see it takes you about 3 minutes to walk down to whose cell?
I went to I had a heartless felon as my bunkie. So I didn't want to take his stuff into my cell. So I took it to the cell next door to mine. And I dropped it off and I made sure that my friend that was next door will hold it and watch it while I go back and make sure nobody jumped him or nothing.
Okay. So then we see you in the recording that you walk back to the cell, you go in the cell. When you open or go back in, what do you see?
I go back in. He's over top of him.
Who's he?
Ogletree.
Over the top of?
Wetherington.
Okay. And
he's
punching. What happened?
Yeah, he's punching.
Banding about 5.
So I push him off like, man, he's done. He's cool. You feel me? I check on him. He's still like, I really can't really, I'm trying to hurry up and get out the room. I'm really not even trying to get caught in here. So when I push him up off him, like, man, he cool. You feel me? I see that Wetherington is like linked up a little bit, like coming off of his back. And then that's when I walked out the room. And
so let me back you up. When you first walk in, are they on the lower bunk?
They're not on no bunk.
Okay. Are they standing?
No, they're not standing.
Are they on the ground wrestling?
They're on the ground, and Wetherington's on his back, and Ogletree's on top of him punching him.
Okay. And obviously there's recording, but you just made fists?
Yes.
Okay. So he was closed fist hitting Wetherington?
Yes.
Right, left hand, both? What?
Yes, both of them. Like,
okay.
Punching him.
So he was on top and just punching him. Where was he punching him?
Just punching him in his face.
Okay. And how many times did you see him hit him?
Seen him like 3 times when I walked into the room.
Okay. And did you see any injuries to Wetherington?
At the time, he got dreads like me, so I didn't see none, but I seen like his eye was a little bit puffy and his mouth was bleeding.
Okay. And then at 7:17, we see you exit?
Yes, sir.
Did you say anything to Ogletree at that point?
No, I tried to turn around when we walked back in the room to really check on Wetherington, but when I went to walk back, Ogletree shut the door.
Okay. So then later on, we know now from the recording, roughly 8:12.
Yes.
You go back to his cell?
Yeah, because I really couldn't check up on him when I was in there. I wasn't trying to get caught out of place, and it happened so quick. So when I walked out, I couldn't go and get the door open myself because I'm not in that cell. So I was trying to look for a cellmate, Jason Addison, so he can go and get the door open and check up on him.
Okay, so at 8:12 p.m., what did you do?
I found his cellmate. He was in the phone room. I told him, can he go and check up on him because he just got into a fight. He went up there, he checked up on him, and then he came and got me.
Okay, and when you were in there, did you have contact with Wetherington?
Yeah, I did.
What was that contact?
Well, he was up on Addison's bed when I came in there because Addison, when he came back and got me, he was like, yo, Nick, excuse my language, he was like, your friend basically is bleeding on my bed. That's why he had blood on his cover. He was like, and he told you to come, he told me to come get him. Told me to come.
Wetherington told Addison to come get you?
Yeah, to come get me.
Because Addison's upset with Wetherington that he's bleeding on his bunk?
Yes.
All right, so he's sitting on the bunk at this point?
Yeah, he's sitting on Addison's bunk.
Right. And do you have any conversation with him?
Yeah, I was asking him, was he cool? I gave him some water. He was like, yeah, he cool. And he was like, help me up on my rack. I just want to get on my rack. And
go ahead, sorry.
So when I helped him up on the rack, Addison did help me.
Did Wetherington say anything about his head?
Yeah, he said his head hurt, but I couldn't really see nothing on his head because he had dreads.
Okay. And so you helped Wetherington up to the top rack?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got close enough that we know there's some blood do you know if that was Wetherington's blood? We know now.
Yeah, that had to be. That was the only time I came in contact with him.
Okay. And then after he gets on the top bunk, what do you do?
Once I went on the top rack, once he got on the top rack, I went back to my cell because, I'm out of place already. I'm thinking I don't think that nobody is got real injuries or nothing. I'm thinking it's a regular fight. He's going to be cool. So, I go in my room, I lock down like a regular day.
Okay. So let me back you up a little bit for the time period between 7:17 when you leave Wetherington's cell to 8:12, that time frame.
Yes, sir.
Did you have contact with Addison?
Yes.
Okay. Explain what contact or conversation you had.
I was looking for him because, like I told you, when I walked out the room and I tried to go back, Ogletree shut the door. I can't get the door popped back open because I'm not in that cell. So I got to look for his cellmate. So I'm walking around, I'm looking for his cellmate, you feel me? And I see him in the phone room. When I go into the phone room, I'm like, hey, can you check up on him? He just got into a fight. I wasn't really able to really check and see if he was all right or not. And he told me all right.
Okay. Did you heard his testimony, correct?
Yes, sir.
He testified something about you trying to pay him to clean up the mess.
Yeah, like,
Did that ever happen?
no, I never, what would I pay him?
Okay. And so the extent of the conversation you had was you said you go check on your.
Yeah, can you go and check up on him? Because he just got into a fight. I wasn't really able to check up on him. I'm not on that side of the range, and I didn't want to get caught up out of place. So I just wanted to make sure he was all right.
All right. Were there any statements about beating his ass?
Oh, yeah, I heard him say that yesterday as well. I did tell him that he got into a fight, but I never said that I beat him up or anything. I said they just beat him up.
Okay, they being?
The heartless felon.
Okay, so you never said we beat him up. You said they beat him up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then did you have any contact with Shaquiz Hakeem?
No, that's what was really off to me. I never talked to him.
Do you know him?
I seen him on the block. Yes, I seen him around, but I never talked to him. I know that him and Addison was in the same gang, but me and him, we never really even spoke to each other like that. So yesterday when he said that we knew each other very well, everybody knows me and Weatherington as being friends because we're the only people from Lorraine on that block and not in the gang. So everybody know that we go to chow together. We were in culinary together. We go to the gym together. We cook together. So I really didn't even know him. The only thing that he said correct yesterday, that he knew that me and Weatherington was friends.
Okay. And so then you said you were locked down 9?
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
And then next day what happens?
Next morning, you could see me when Addison walks out, you could see me talking to him, asking like, is he cool? And he was like, man, I don't know if he cool. So when he said that, I told him, if they come and get you and talk to you, tell them to come get me. You feel me? Because I didn't want to make anything noticeable and be caught a snitch or anything. So I know he was his bunkie. So I said, if they come get you, make sure you come get me. And I told the state patrol and everybody that.
Okay. And at what point did you realize Weatherington was dead?
I was in a gym playing basketball at the time, and they shut down the whole jail. So when they shut down the jail, they said they come through the speaker like an inmate has been passed away. So at the time, I'm hoping it's not him. I didn't get to see him that morning. The last time I seen him, he was alive. So when they shut down the jail, they came and got me from the gym like an hour or two later.
So Shaquiz Hakeem said when he looked in the window, he saw Ogletree on top of Weatherington, choking him, punching him. He claims he saw you hit Weatherington twice. Is that accurate?
That is literally impossible. I know that everybody seen that room. When he said he was on the bottom rack punching him, and over him on the bottom rack, it's a hood it's a top rack over it. These is two big grown men. Everybody in this room is 200 and some pounds, damn near 200 pounds. So where would I be punching him at if there's somebody over him punching him?
So when you were in that cell and Ogletree was choking him and punching him, you stood by the door?
I was never in the cell when a punch even got thrown until I came back.
Okay, so as you stated, you were in the middle until 7:14.
No, not until 7:14. I was in the middle majority of the time when they were sitting there arguing.
Okay.
Once I grabbed the bag, I moved out of the way, and that's when I was by the door.
And then when 7:17 you return, that's where you see Ogletree.
Yeah, that's when I seen Ogletree.
And you saw Ogletree on top of Weatherington, but on the floor, not the bed.
No, they weren't on the bed. They were on the floor.
Okay. Is there anything else you want the jurors to know about this?
Yeah, like, I know you guys don't know about jail and the rules and everything that go in jail. I know that you guys done seen the video and the way that they put the video, but I don't even get in trouble. I'm not no bad inmate. I don't even do stuff like this. The only reason that I was in that cell was because he asked me to make sure he don't get jumped and nobody take the rest of his belongings. I did what he asked me, and that's why I was there.
No further questions at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to end now. Redirect y'all over to Hella. She is a stream, a lovely co-host. That was quite interesting. Oops. Hella, if you're listening, I'm ending right now. So yeah, that was interesting. It's kind of self-serving, but thank you, Irish. You're the best. Yeah, for the Tyler Robinson love story. But we'll replace Hella with Meg. Yeah. I keep meaning to reach out to Meg. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for Courtroom Roulette at 10 and 5 p.m. Eastern for the rest of Cross and the jury issues that arise and the verdict. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.